just in case we say something interesting before we start.
Not a chance of that ever happening. Interesting. What would be interesting? I was real surprised that nobody had heard the Knock It Out, John. You'd never heard that either? Knock Him Out, John?
No.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get the link for you and let you go listen to Jerry Clower. He is like, you don't know who Jerry Clower is either?
No, I don't. And I might, but the name just, doesn't ring a bell.
He is like he was just one of the funniest guys ever in the whole world. Very, very, very funny guy. He was from Wazoo, Mississippi. And he told all of his stuff was like, country stuff. Knock him out, John.
I think we'll just wait a little bit, see if anybody comes in.
Well, Michael, it would be fun to get Michael actually to come in sometime. He's been around, but he's not ever come into anything. By the way, they've also got a thing going on with Sean. There's some sort of a thing going on the front. I noticed on the front page when I came in. Something about blabbing on Blab with Sean, who is like the CEO, and he's being interviewed or talking to somebody else about Blab. Imagine that.
Yeah, I know after this is over, I am going to go back to my position where I was earlier.
It's just the weather and stuff today?
I'm assuming that's what it is today because I didn't do anything that would cause it to twist my back or anything else. And it's just conditions are right. And it's caused me to have the flare up again. So,
Well, Michael is a doc or something. Doc. He's he might be able to tell you something to fix that. Nothing, right?
Yeah, nothing. Yeah. I had the MRIs and CAT scans and everything else done, and titanium jacks in my back, spinal stimulators, and Nina joined us.
Mm-hmm. If I were you, I'd just go ahead and get started.
Okay.
Just because, from yesterday, obviously you'd been off for a week.
Yeah, and I'm just going to keep on going here, I guess. And by the end of the week, I should be okay again. Mm-hmm. I can throw this away because I'm not going to throw it away. I'll just move it because I started to record. And okay, folks, we're going to start. It's 25 minutes on how to use Blab. No Blabbus Interruptus. We do this every day, and now we're doing it twice a day. 10 in the morning and 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The Blab is to help people use Blab. It's 25 minutes long, fast-paced with a clear goal. We want to give you the confidence to use Blab. Gave me confidence by doing this. We don't answer many questions from the audience. In fact, probably none until later on. We show you how to use Blab, and that's it, plain and simple. We ask that you hold all questions until the end. We do encourage you to join the Blab when we're at the end of this. And if there's a seat open, I'll let you in. One of the reasons we don't take too many questions is because I answer a lot of questions as I go through this. And the question you might have in the beginning, I might answer later on. And it's just a matter of me catching up to where your thoughts are. I'm part of the Circadians, and who are we? Well, the Circadians are a concept community. Our community isn't built around individuals. We live, work, and thrive in a guru-free zone. Everyone is equal, everyone is important, and everyone matters. Everyone has their own special gift, and the sum of those gifts is greater than the individual. And that's what's neat, because there's people in the Circadians that might be well-versed on SEO. They might be well-versed on building websites. Some people are well-versed in training dogs. Some people are well-versed in other things and the cartooning. Lindsay does cartoons, and WordPress, and I do engraving, and all our talents work together, and we put them together, and we help each other out. We create event-driven, outcome-oriented business building platforms, broadcast, websites, content, training programs, and more. But mostly we operate in a guru-free zone, getting stuff done. We welcome the opportunity to elaborate on that. Ask for an invitation to our community today. Stan, is this still the email? It's Stan at thecircadians.com?
Yes, that was.
Or do you have another link you want to put in there for people to contact us?
I'll put that one in there.
Well, Stan is doing that. I'm going to go over the rules of Blab. There really aren't any, but the people who run Blab, they kind of like to have a little format that people can go by. Number one is respect each other. We want to be nice to one another. Honor the viewer's time. Let others talk. Don't be an awful person to be around. Argue the point, not the person. And the host sets the rules to the party unless they conflict with these rules. And you know what we say, honor the viewer's time and let others talk. If we let you in here, take a few minutes, tell us what you do, what you're all about, and let somebody else get in. And if you want to talk on the subject and you disagree, it's okay to disagree on the point, but don't make it personal, because then you won't get in. They are people that we've got our information from, and we're going to go over them a little bit later, where I'll mention some of those people at the end. But there's a couple things I want to do here before we go too far, and I'm probably going to mention it a couple different times. But on the left side there, I'm pointing to the right, but I'm probably pointing to the left. It says, "Tell a little bird." It's a little blue box. And I'm going to hold up my sign that I made. If you click on that, that'll send a message out to all of your followers and letting them know that you're here watching this and that you think it's important, or you wouldn't have sent them the message. So you can click on that. A little box will come up, and then it'll say, "Post the tweet." And you click on post the tweet, and it'll go out to everybody. And it's a good way to build followers, because that way they see what you're doing. Giving props. If you see the two hands there and a number, I'm going to click on that. I'd give them to myself, but I can't. That's what we call giving props, and I'll give Stan some more. And what that does is that lets people know, or you're letting the people in the squares know, that you like what they're talking about, you enjoyed the comment that they just made, and you're going to give them props and for what they said. They don't last, they don't accumulate, and you don't get any awards for having the most props at the end of the show. At least I'm not giving any awards, because I can't get any myself. So it's just a neat thing to do. You know, let's go over here to the comment stream, and I'm going to click down to Anthony Williams there, and he joined.
Yeah, this is his first time. This would be a good thing for him.
Yeah, and now once he mentions something, if I click on his name, it brings up a box that says Anthony Williams. He's a father, rugby league fan, learning and developing professional wild hearts and Eureka machines. Oh, well, you know what? I'm interested now. I'm going to follow him and see what happens.
I suppose the Eureka machines is vacuum cleaners, huh?
It could be.
I don't know.
Or maybe it's a machine that just yells out Eureka when something good happens.
It's a machine, man. It does what it does.
Yeah.
It's a rock thing. Oh, even better. I'm going to follow him now. You need to put that in there. You need to say Eureka Machine's rock band.
Oh,
yeah.
There. Look at how about that? It's a rock band.
That now.
Now I'm going to hold my pointer over Nina, and Nina's over in Bulgaria, and you see next to her name there's a star. If I click on that, it's going to put a number 1 there, and the star is going to turn orange. And if Nina sees that, that means I like what she said. If she sees that and puts her pointer over the star, there's 2 there because Stan also did that. Our pictures are going to pop up, and then she's going to see, oh, Ron and Stan liked what I said. Next to that star is an arrow. If you click on that arrow down at the bottom where it says type something cool, it'll automatically put her @name in there, and you can type a message to her, and you don't have to type her whole name out. And that's kind of neat. It's easy to do. Getting down to type something cool, you can type anything in there, make a comment. But if you have a question,
it's not as fancy as yours. It's not like yours, but you know, I do
it's good. That's all we need. I can put mine aside. I don't have to hold it up. If you type the /Q, a space, and then your question, a little gray box is going to come up, and that's going to let me know or Stan know that somebody has a question.
It also means that it highlights it for those that are in the strip actually, and that across the top there's a thing that says questions, and you can go and review that before you get off, before you close your blab out.
Yep. The other thing that you can use it for, if you want to get the attention that you think you have a comment that's important, and it's not a question but a comment, you can type like you're typing a question, make the comment, we'll see it, and then we can take note of it. Like Stan said, you go up to the top, there's all, there's mentions, and there's questions. If you click on the all, you're going to get all the comments in the comments stream. You click on mentions, and that somebody that mentioned somebody, it'll, like Nina mentioned me, so I'll see that she mentioned me. And if I go over and click on questions, all those gray boxes that had a question in them, I can see right away. I don't have to go through the whole comment stream. I can just see the questions that were asked. So that's how you do that. Now, if you want to, when you sign into Blab, it picks up your Twitter profile and that information, but you can change it if you want to. Like I'm going to click on, go up to the top there, and I'm going to click on, hold my pointer over my picture, and then I'm going to go down and click on my name. And that brings up all the information about me, how many, if there's any replays of blabs that I've done, how many followers, how many people are following me, and my scheduled blabs that I have. And I can also get in there and I can go into settings and change my profile, my picture, and whatever I want to do in there, and change it from what my Twitter information is. I kind of like keeping my stuff the same. It's people are following me. They see that, okay, that's that same picture that I see on Blab. I see it on Twitter. I see it on Google, and they know that's Ron Schneeberger. I don't know why they'd want to, but that's.
I just put the link over there too for those that just don't know. There's a link down there now that has a PDF. You just click on that link, and you'll put your name and address in there, or name and email address. We don't like to send you anything, but it gives you a little bit more about us and a link to download a PDF.
Yeah, it's good information to have. You really want to click on the link. If you don't want to do it now, do it later, and get in and look at that that page and that site. It's really nice. Okay, the other thing is, while we're up at the top there, you're going to see everybody's picture, and you can roll your pointer over those photos. Like I'm going to hold mine over Nina, and it pulls up the box and it says digital communication skills trainer, hashtag real, hashtag time, hashtag the Circadians. And I go down, she has 160 followers, 189 people that she's following. And I see that I'm following her and she's following me. And that's how you can look at the people and see, okay, I like his profile, I'm going to follow him. Now, if you go over to the left, you're going to see some numbers there. You're going to see 2 people. You're going to see a number 13, and you're going to see the I, and you're going to see the number 8. I clicked on the I, and now it brought it up. It shows the total viewers, and it brings up some information about each one of those if you scroll through them. And if you can follow them right from there, or you can see if you're following them or not. And there's going to might be a box showing up on the far right that might have a +1 in it. And out of those viewers, you see everybody, the 8 that are here now. And I think Stan might be trying to.
Yeah, I'm going to go do that.
He's going to get on there and just be a viewer on the web and not signed in. And that'll should pop up as a number 1. And that shows that there's viewers out there on the web who are not signed into Twitter, or there it is, +1, that they're watching on the web, they're web viewers, and they're not signed in through their Twitter account.
Now, one of the things you noticed when I did that, I think this would be a good place to explain that, is that once I did that, there's a bit of an echo. That's because there were 2 windows open. So now that I've closed that window,
the echo disappeared.
So that's actually going to be a good way to do that, to kind of show somebody how to see that from here on. Can non-signed in users take a seat? No, they cannot. And put the slash in front of the Q and then the space. Hi, John Senfeld and John Jerk too.
One more thing I'm going to mention here. Yeah, if you have a question.
Well, he put the Q afterwards. He put Q slash.
Yeah, it's the other way around, and then it'll get in there. Don't do this, but if you are a host or you're on Blab and there's a problem, not now. Add help. Put the @ sign in help, and it goes to the Blab team, and they will try to help you out so you can keep going with your Blab. I'm going to just take a quick look at the questions here and see if there's anything. Oh, Bull's boy likes this. Yep. So that's nice. I'm glad he likes it. That's what we try to do. John
Seinfeld, industrial is spelt wrong in your bio up there, man. I'm not a spelling Nazi. I'm just telling you. I see it's indus. Yeah, it's not spelled right. Yes, you're welcome, man. That's what we do.
Now, how can you participate? Well, you can see that there's 4 seats. I'm in one, Stan's in one. Usually the host is in the upper left, but that's not necessarily the case. And especially on the playback, sometimes the host is in another spot on the replay. I'm going to lock this seat down here, and you see that it's locked. And when I'm ready, I can open that up, and I can let people in. We went over the comment stream. We went over, if you have questions, how to take care of that. We went over the star and the arrow. We went over following people.
I think you've gone through it pretty good, man. It's 419. That's about. See, the material doesn't take that long as we go ahead and get through it. And by the way, this is Ron has had a pretty rough day today, and he's came in just to do this with us, to be with us here and do this blab. But he has had a pretty rough day, And this is only his second day. He's still trying to get back from his vacation that he took in Florida. And so
I took a vacation in Florida, and we live in Florida.
And he lives in Florida. That tells you how, that's like me. I live close to Macon, Georgia, so that'd be like me going to Elko, I guess. Y'all didn't even get that joke. Elko is like population 13 or something like that. But anyhow, what you got now, Ron?
I really don't have too much of anything. I think we can.
You can open.
I would like Nina to come in and tell us about her. She's one of the Circadians, and she can tell us about herself and what she does better than we can. She is a very talented lady. She speaks several languages.
Give her a second. That means she was sitting there without lipstick on. Nina, she's going to.
Oh yeah.
I'd like to see John Jerk in here. I'd like to see everybody kind of do a cycle through here, just because. Well, John, because I've seen him around. I don't think we've ever been in a blab. We may have been a hangout together or something before, but John's. What I've seen of him, he rocks. And then everybody else, just so in case you haven't done it before, in case you've never been in one, Anthony, or the Dean, or let's see, Van, comedian and educator. See, that's why I followed him, because he put that comedian thing in there. And John Sonfeld, if you've never done one, just pop in there. This is very relaxed. We're a different kind of group. We're not trying to. We just want you to be able to go out and do this afterwards. So if you've got want to get in on a seat, just lock in there. Of course, John doesn't have those kind of shivers. Not John Jerk. He doesn't.
Yeah, John has a morning every Monday. Has a morning motivational and inspirational show. Like here's John. Let's let him in.
Yeah, let him tell us about it.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Hey, John.
Hi, John.
How you guys doing?
Doing
great,
fine.
I tell you guys, I found out about Blab from Sheila Hensley. One night when Sheila and Michael Daniels and Andrew Hatchett and I were sitting in a private hangout and over on Google Plus and talking, and Sheila said, "Hey, have you ever heard of Blab?" And I said no, and it was probably 2 weeks old at the time, and I kind of went in and went out, and I think hosted my first one about 4 weeks ago. But the funny story I got to tell you is a week and a half ago, I set up one on what's your networking secrets. And I didn't think I was going to have a whole lot of people. Well, 3.5 hours later, my wife called and wondered if I was coming to pick her up from work or if I was kindly trying to tell her to get a ride home. I said, "But honey, I can't leave my own blab." Okay. So we stopped the recording. I think this is a wonderful platform. And it's kind of interesting. Last night I was on a private call with some people over on Google Plus, and the whole thing came up about Blab. And is Blab going to replace Google? And my thoughts on it are this. I think you have to choose a platform that works best for you. I think you have to look at what your needs are and what you're trying to do with the platform. And then I think for me, I enjoy both of them. I use this platform more as a networking tool to meet people, to get to know people who do internet marketing, sales, coaching, consulting from all over the world. I think it's a more open platform than Google Plus, but then again, I think Google Plus shows a different platform. I do a Monday morning motivation every Monday from 9 to 9:05 a.m. because everybody's time is valuable and precious. And I just kind of give 5 minutes of my thoughts on life and how to start your week off on a positive note. I probably get Ron shows up occasionally live. I probably get 45 to 50 views afterwards, but I think that's the wonder and pleasure of YouTube, that you can go ahead and do something. And my final word is this: I've never met a camera I don't like.
Yeah. Well, John, you should join us in with the Circadians. I'd like to talk to you about that sometime. And the other thing is that Blab is definitely going to replace Google Hangouts the same exact way that Crystal is going to replace McDonald's. Right? It ain't going to happen. Ever.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just not going to happen. But please go on with your story, because
I use business hangouts a lot, and I use them for webinars, and things like that. And again, I think each platform has its purpose. And I'm a typical consultant. Okay, you're not going to get me to say anything negative about anybody. I think they work well. I caught a little bit of Mia Voss recently, and I think she's made the crossover real well, taken this and used it to her advantage.
Yes, she has. You want to answer that, John? You want to answer that question about, because I'm pretty sure you can. Bull's Boy asked a question about, can you post a Blab recording onto YouTube easily? Do you know the answer to that?
No, sir, I do not.
Well, you want to tell him, Ron?
Yeah, it's very easy. The host, after this show is over, because I'm recording it, and only if I record it, I will get an email, and it'll have an MP3 file, an MP4 file that I can use, and it'll have a button there a one-touch button that I can download this Blab session to YouTube. Once it's downloaded, then you can go into the YouTube editing, and you can add your description and your meta tags or whatever you want to do in YouTube after it's added. You can't do it in Blab.
It is easier than that now, by the way. As soon as the Blab is over, there's going to be a link right there for you as the host only. The host and the co-host will have a link there that says upload to YouTube, and you just click that link and it'll put it right up there. Or we're going to let Nina tell us. She's over there. She's got all dressed up and no place to go. She's got to let her say something, and she's going to tell you about how to do it from the profile.
Mute it. It's not bad.
It's not nice to ask a woman to go on a date and then not tell her where you're going to go to eat or anything. So you got to let her talk here, man.
Okay, so I just listened to a Blab conference, they're saying that you cannot learn anything unless you do it. So it's also my way. That's why I'm on the Circadians. And I would never teach my business friends and partners that I'm concerned about their digital skills, anything that I didn't do myself. So that's my way. I live in Sofia, Bulgaria. This is the second oldest capital in Europe. I'm level 3 Google Plus professional, and I'm also Insight graduate with the Santa Monica University for Insight seminars. What I can do, I can bring traffic to your business. I like doing that. And I just heard I'm a bit behind with my promises for Bulgarian Blab because the Russians already have theirs. So I'm motivated to be more quick. It's not very easy because for Bulgarian audience, the structure should be a little bit different. So I'm busy doing that now. Thank you.
You're restructuring the 25 minutes to fit the structure there, or what are you doing?
No, I'm using the same structure. I will never go out of it, but just to make some analogs about it, like expand it, because Bulgarian guys are very clever. And they will learn Blab in 3 minutes. So.
Oh yeah. Well, we know. We're used to hearing all that stuff, but the U.S. holds up pretty good. We I'm not the brightest bulb in the pack, but I turn on every now and then. Dean, I am going to answer that question for you.
I'm going out for someone else to join. Thank you, Ron, for inviting.
Thanks for stopping in.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to hop out too.
Okay, thanks, John,
for coming in.
You bet, guys. Take care.
The way you would do that, Dean, is like a while ago when I went to the there he is. Hey, Dean.
Howdy.
How you doing, man?
Awesome, bro. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. The way you would do that. Oh, yes, man, sir. A card trick. Okay. I'm
sorry. So
that's okay. That's okay. I've only been to Vegas once, and I'm still paying it off. That was back in the 70s.
Right. Yeah, so I don't go anymore. I just mail in a check. This is what I would have won, lost had I actually gambled. So,
well, the way that you do that is all you have to do is have 2 accounts,
right?
And then you log in on the other one as my suggestion is to take it to like a different browser, like a Mozilla or
okay, gotcha.
It's actually better if you can do it from like a different machine completely, because when
absolutely.
You have both of them there,
that's what
yeah. But you can go up into the top of the browser bar, and you can actually turn that up at the top. If you go to there's a little arrow camera and stuff like that of your browser in the address bar. And if you click on that, it's going to say, do you want to pick, the microphone and the camera? So you can pick a microphone that's like non-existent or one that you've got turned all the way down. And that does pretty good on the muting thing, because if you don't, there's no way to mute a microphone that, it's machine wide, right? It's a system device. So you can't mute it very well.
Right.
You do mute it, but not great.
Right.
And then all they do is just show that, put that picture as their profile, or
somebody was doing something like slides.
They're doing what they're doing is called cam, either using cam twist or mini cam. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah. And you can use. Are you familiar with open broadcast software, OBS, or any of the others? Or
I have many cams. I haven't played with it yet, but I did. So I get it. I understand that now.
That's how they do it. Manicam. Now I was in a blab with. They have a town hall meeting every week, and I was in a blab with the people from Blab.
Okay.
They suggested that you not waste your time on that,
right?
Because they're going to come out with their own version of that.
Right. Well, I expect they're making some phenomenal changes. I'm super impressed with the results they're producing fairly quickly in response to people's usage. So I'm dutifully impressed. Again, like we were talking earlier, like you guys were saying earlier, different tools for different situations. You can't build an entire community with just a hammer alone. Sometimes you need that little IKEA Allen wrench to finesse the result. So.
Dean, if you want to see a good blab, and Chef Dennis goes back to the years on Hangouts, he does a food show on Blab, Chef Dennis Litley, where he has a 2 cameras set up, and he has the one seat overhead and the other camera on himself, and he does a really good job at it.
Right.
So it's one to look at, so you can get some ideas.
Brilliant. Appreciate that.
It's more than what we get into here. We just try to cover the basics. And
I'm still relatively new. I've done, like 25 or 30 of them. Only 2 of them are available for rebroadcast because I use them for my own coaching group, even though they're sort of open to begin with. But it's a real good platform. I'm digging it because it's a low to no tech environment for people to jump on.
So do you go over and turn the eye off? Then you make it invisible? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right. And I've downloaded them, uploaded them to my member area and stuff like that. Usually Q&A stuff. If a few people catch in, that's okay. I have no problem with that. But
what's your stuff about?
Marketing, business development, coaching, stuff like that. Like the millions of the rest of us. My perspective is a little different, though. I leverage the inside secrets of show business, because the entertainment industry markets vastly different than any other industry on the planet. And so we have different insights and strategies that we deploy in the marketing area.
We should talk a little bit about that sometimes too, because I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy, but I'm the guy that I'm different. All of us have our own skills. That's what the Circadians is about, is each of us have our own skill set. I'm the guy back in 1996 that was saying, you're going to be watching TV on your watch, and everybody was going, crazy, that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, Dick
And I was
Tracy comes
just
through, right?
having a discussion with somebody. Yeah, I was having a discussion with somebody about. They said we have to find a way to drive traffic, and their subject matter. The way that they're going to drive traffic here is through entertainment, because this is becoming more of a TV. As a matter of fact, when something happened this morning and Blab was broken, I sent some messages out to the people who had subscribed and said, "Look, sorry, but Blab was broken, couldn't do it." And the reply that I got back from one of the guys said, which would just prove the point perfectly. He said, "I've been in the show before, but like you guys, I was just channel surfing."
Right.
And so that tells you exactly where his head was at, exactly what he was thinking that he was doing. And so I see everybody, not just marketing and stuff, but I see people that want to drive traffic, but there's no entertainment.
Right.
At all. And so it's like
absolutely true. If you want to capture the attention and the imagination of your potential viewing audience, you have to be engaging in a way that's fun, interesting, exciting, entertaining. Yes. For years, I spent coaching performers how to put business into their show. And now I coach businesses how to put show into their business, because it's hyper incredibly important to do that, because there's a lot of noise out there. I would love to talk to you about
this, man.
Sure.
That's one of the reasons why in ours, that's not our purpose. Our purpose is to go, here's how you use it.
Right.
Go and have fun. But we do have a little bit. We got that little extra 5 minutes where we can tell our corny stories,
Right. Like I came in a little late, so I missed the corny story. So replay city, here I come. Right.
Oh yeah. Well, we have to start over. Ron, you ready?
Right. All right.
Let's start over. Nina has a question. Is there any event for women now? Just curious that we don't have any around.
Yeah, there's a NASCAR show over there where they show a lot of stuff with Axe menswear deodorant, and there's a corny joke, right? Actually, they do have a lot of stuff every now and then. There's a lady that does one in the morning. I can't think of her name. It's about 8:00, and it's a woman show every day. There's a lot of women, but it winds up men that go into them.
Thank you, gentlemen. Have an awesome. That's me. I'm gonna cut out. Thanks so much.
Thanks.
Let you guys have a great day.
You too.
I've not seen. They have a lot of. As Richard is a Laker fan. They do. He's right there. Blabs where women talk, but men can see, but enjoying it follows. They actually have some of the titles up there that will say, women in business and things like that. So he was interesting. Hey, there's Van. He's a pastor, comedian, educator. He should have come in while the dean was here. And Ron, as a host, now as the co-host, one of the features of having a co-host is that I know you may be in pain. So if you have to leave,
I'm actually in a position in the chair where I'm comfortable. When I get up, I'm probably going to scream my head off. But okay, I'm fine right now, so I'm good.
Well, it would be best if we closed it before you did that, though.
So, yeah. Don't worry. I won't be getting up until after we're all done.
So every time I see Van's name over there, I think of Van Helsing. So I'm just getting that out there for you. So, you know that I do watch movies and things, or used to.
Yeah.
That would be an old one. Yeah. So how are you, Van?
I'm doing well. How are you, gentlemen?
I can tell. I think he's from Chicago or something based off that accent.
No.
How far off am I?
East Tennessee.
Yeah, I know that, man.
Yeah.
We'll be playing y'all this weekend.
Are you from Georgia?
Yeah, after the trouncing that both of us took this weekend, we had exactly the same scores, 38-10. That was the deal.
Yeah, exactly. It's been a brutal year in Tennessee, so but we're trying. We're trying.
Yeah. Middle Tennessee, I'm familiar with that team too. Those guys are really good. I like that team.
Yeah, they're good. It's the first time I've been on Blab, actually. Somebody had recommended it to me, and I've been signed up for a while, but I've just been watching a couple of people, the way that they talk and go around that. So, but I definitely believe this is going to change a lot of things in the way communication is done. And so I've pastored for all these years. And so recently I had a friend about 5 years ago that he passed away, and he challenged me to do stand-up comedy. And I always liked sermons, you know, where it was more educating. And the one I've done recently, it's called Unbelievable. It's about honeybees. And it's how you tie it in as if the church would act and learn things from the hive. You could do it with team building. You could do it with anything imaginable. It's kind of like khaki pants. So I started just like a website for it called unbelievable.org. It's spelled BEE. And then I started a Facebook page, and it has just completely blew up. I mean, just like all these invites to come and to do. And my other goal was to revolutionize substitute teaching, is to get in there with the kids and teach, because one of the things that I was seeing that would happen in school is you bring a sub in and you don't do anything. You just kind of sit around and abide time. And I have never seen anything that's grabbed a hold of kids like this. And the range goes anywhere from kids all the way to senior citizens. It covers every genre, covers, you know, and it's just kind of where entertainment, and now that social media, you can add that in there. So I had a guy advise me about getting on Blab and, you know, Periscope and some other things. So we're just going to see how it goes. But I really love this format, just hearing people talk and see what they do. So what do you guys, how long have you been on Blab? How long have you done it?
Well, that's a funny thing that you asked that. If you go to somebody's profile,
yeah,
you'll see it. It'll tell you exactly how many days, and I'm going to go there and look at mine, and I've been on it for 62 days. I think Blab's been around like 100 and maybe 120 now. I'm not sure, but I wouldn't call myself a early adopter, although that might be wind up being the case, because I don't know how many people are on it now, but in Georgia now, when the substitute teachers here, we all behaved. We didn't do anything. You know, you said you didn't do anything when the substitute teachers were there, but that's not Georgia, man. We pay attention to the teacher.
No, it's not pay attention. It's more along the content. You know, it's like the content is not, I don't know. It's just not designed to, it needs to be more entertaining, I guess you could say. There's things that you could teach on that I think would make it definitely more entertaining, but I don't know. It just seems to work. It's a very compelling thing to watch. If, like, for instance, one of the things in it, how many trips do you think it takes honeybees to make a pound of honey?
I don't know.
Just throw it out there.
How many trips does it take for a honeybee? I would say it's probably close to, gosh, that's a trick question, I know, but I'm gonna say a couple of million.
Yeah, it's pretty close. 10 million.
It's 10 million.
Yeah, and so when you really diagnose their whole work ethic, it truly comes back to its title. It's really unbelievable. Just the sheer magnitude of what it takes just to get honey. Which, by the way, if you know anything about honeybees, we're fighting a losing battle against them. So what I found out with these kids, they're kind of like little activists. Once they understand that, you know, honeybees are threatened, they really want to get with it. So pretty neat deal.
Well, I have a friend that I went to high school with. His name is his actual name is Chuck, but his nickname is Buzza Shuck. And Buzza, his Buzza Shuck, and that's because in the church there was somebody who was from, I can't remember, different Greece, and they never said, they were saying Brother Chuck, but it came out Buzza Shuck. And so he is a beekeeper, and he goes, what he actually does is go out and gets hives, and you know how that is, where they in a building and they've got taking the whole side of it, you know what I mean, where they just take over a place. And that's what he does. He goes out and gets those hives and everything like that. And he gave me some, this year, he gave me some pomegranate honey, and it was great. Really, really, really swell. It was great. But he's got a site, his Facebook, you can look up Buzza. I'm going to tell him to go check you out too. That's how you pronounce it, Buzza Shuck. And but he's a big big guy. He's got a thing called it's a site about honey all over the world or something like that on Facebook. It'd be good for you guys to hook up from that standpoint too. Tina Cook and hey, I don't know some of these people.
Now there's some new ones popping in.
So you feel comfortable for your first time?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's neat, different being on there, of course. But
yeah. Have you done Hangouts and other kind of on-air stuff? Or
no? This is the first time. A friend recommended it, so I test it out, see how it goes, and I've learned a lot by listening to people talk, and just seeing how the rest of the world lives.
Well, I would think being a pastor and everything, you'd be used to getting up in front of people and stuff. That wouldn't be a big deal.
Yeah,
I just saw somebody going to have a hangout, or they had it. I just glanced through it earlier today about how the churches can use the social media.
I saw that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's no doubt about it of the potential for it to reach. I mean, it's really staggering if you think about the potential to reach people, and if that's your target, it's just and somebody's on there all the time. And now with a format like this or Periscope, the first time on Periscope, the first thing I saw was somebody was holding their phone up, and I watched a sunset, at the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco, which was just, you're talking 10 years ago, and you don't get to do that, with, you might watch a film of it or something, but to have a actual human you're talking to, I just thought the concept I wished I would have thought of the concept.
Yeah. Euro Maestro is a guy have you watched him on Periscope?
Who?
Euro Maestro?
No.
He tours all sorts of places. I mean, it was pretty incredible for him to be like, okay, this is the Mona Lisa, that kind of stuff. And this is the Eiffel Tower, and this is Disney. And, you'll see all the Disney places. That's all he just travels around and does. I think that's actually his job now, but he'll show the view from, all these different places. That's my boss calling me now. I'll be right back.
Yeah, it's interesting. Richard Clarkson just mentioned with Periscope and Meerkat about the comments fly by too fast. Well, in Meerkat, you can scroll through them and watch them. Periscope, they do fly by, so I can understand that concept. And it's more of a fast-paced streaming compared to Meerkat, and Blab is different than both of those, and that you have the people in and out, and it's I say it's more like a coffee table discussion where you're sitting around a coffee table and talking about different things and a topic, and it's interesting. Usually we're done by now and we turn this off and we go have an after meeting to say, okay, did you do this right or that right, or how can you do it better? But it's just been an interesting show today, Stan. What do you think? Can't hear you. All we get is noise.
Yeah, it's been an interesting show. It's just because of the way that the pace of it's been a little bit different. The pace of it's been a little bit different, and the subject matter has been a little bit different because we normally do get off a little bit faster than that. But I see Michelle's here now, and I see Roosevelt up there. Roosevelt was having a problem with this morning about the same time we were, but I think he logged in went to a different Twitter account to get in. There was just an awful problem with it this morning.
Yeah. Stan, what part of Georgia are you from?
I'm from Macon, around Macon, Warren Robins, Centerville, right there.
Yeah, I go through there. I got some real good friends that live in Tybee Island, so I go down there a couple of times a year, and it's a good pastor friend of mine, pastors a church there. So there in Savannah, it's two of my favorite places. So
yeah, Tybee's pretty. That's one of them places. It's actually one of those places if you've been around long enough where you go, I kind of wish they wouldn't have told anybody about it.
Yeah.
It's because you used to go there and just it was just not anybody there, but It's a lot of people down there. It's kind of like St. Mary's down. Have you been there? Oh, never mind. St. Mary's? No.
No,
Yeah, don't go there. It's terrible.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, it's awful, man. You don't want to go there at
Terrible.
all.
I'll take your word for it. So.
Yeah. So, but no, I'm from. Everybody says that we talk funny down here. Just like they tell you that you talk funny, right?
Yeah. Where's Ron? Where's Ron from?
Originally Pennsylvania, the Pennsylvania Dutch country in the Allentown, Bethlehem Easton area, and since 2001, I'm living down here in Jupiter, Florida, with my wife, the better half, and she keeps me on the straight and narrow. And but we love it down here.
Yeah. Were you a Steelers fan?
No, Eagles. My wife is the football fanatic. Football and baseball. I mean, if there's a football game on a Sunday, and I just don't bother talking to her. Just, it's like me watching a NASCAR race. She stays away from me when I'm watching a NASCAR race, and I stay away from her when she's watching a football game. But she's the football fanatic.
I definitely don't understand NASCAR on TV, but I definitely understand it at the track.
Well, I used to work on I used to work on a sprint car when I was a teenager, and so the background is ingrained in me from the time I was about 15, 16 years old, and it's like when that fuel gets in your system, you just can't get rid of it. There's something you like about it.
It's a different. My first NASCAR experience, I was about 20 years old, and am I breaking up?
Once in a while, but not bad. Yeah,
I was about 20 years old, and there were four of us, and we were going to try to find a place to park, right? And there was a big RV right in front of us, and there were girls sitting on the top of the RV. And there was a parking place right there. And when the RV stopped, the girls lifted their shirts, and the guy that was driving froze. And they took the parking place. It was the funniest thing I ever. It was like, and come on, man, park. But I looked over and he was like. They've definitely got that. It was the most different environment I'd ever been in my life. It was all fun. It was all really fun. It wasn't like, that kind of crazy kind of stuff. It was just fun. But,
hey, Stan, do you want to answer this? Roosevelt has a question. Roosevelt, next time you type it in, type /Q and then space before the question. Do you see it there at the bottom?
In the email regarding replay ready for download, cannot download or upload to YouTube. Well, I think what he's saying is he got one because he was successful in doing his this morning when they were having a problem with it. And I think what he's saying, he's welcome to come into the seat. I think what he's saying is he couldn't, the email that he got, that didn't work. But that wouldn't surprise me during that time because maybe it didn't actually work. Maybe that little link didn't work. Is that what you're saying, Roosevelt?
Yeah. After the show was done, I got an email saying, your blab is ready for download, the video and the audio. And I did the download of the video. Normally, you have a link to upload to YouTube or download it. It wouldn't even download. So.
Have you gone to your profile to see if it was there under your profile?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I go to my profile and look under my profile, and you're going to see replays up there. And when you go to that replay, you actually have a link there to upload it into YouTube from there.
Okay,
so
thanks.
You can do it from there if it's actually going to work. That I don't know. I make no promises.
Okay.
This is like a messenger guy, That's the way it's supposed to work.
Well, that's why I was glad to join you today because I knew you had some kind of answer.
It's unanswered. That's true. I can always
I'll
give unanswered.
I'll check it out. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, man. Roosevelt's got his, like, he does several shows. He's got one. He did one about about whether or not the VW, the problem that they did, the thing where they were caught cheating, would people, how that would affect them. Interesting guy. I know he gets tired of saying it, but I say it every time I see him. He was the last guy to interview JFK Jr. alive. I don't think anybody interviewed him after he passed, though. I haven't seen one where they did. That's a poor attempt at a joke kind of thing,
Yes, that would be.
Yeah, it's real poor attempt, I guess. Too soon, maybe. But anyway, no, that was my boss calling, so I'm fixing to have to start getting ready to.
Yep, I think we'll probably put an end to this. Thank you, Van, for stopping by and sitting in, saying hello.
Yeah.
Van,
Yes.
we'll tell you this, Van, just in case anybody ever asks you, God talks like we do.
That's right.
That's exactly how he talks.
Yeah. Southern Hebrew.
Southern Hebrew. Okay, now he enhanced that. He's good. He did good.
Okay, I am going to stop the